Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be another in my Valentine's 2018 card series. This card design I designed for my mom. This is a new stamp set and die cut that I just got and I couldn't wait to jump in and make a design with it. It's really a pretty design and I'm using the monotone background and then bringing the color in for the die cuts in the front. Let me move this out of the way and show you how to create this card. The inks I'm using today is Versafine Onyx Black, and also I'm going to be using a Versamark watermark pad. I will also be using these Memento inks, Angel Pink, Lulu Lavender, Ladybug, and London Fog. The stamp sets that I'm going to show you today is from Altenew. I'm also going to be using some rhinestones. This is a stamp set and a die cut called Halftone Hearts. And Altenew has stars and circles as well as the hearts. They may have some others. I know that there are halftone sentiments because I have one of them, the halftone hello, which I will feature in a later video. But when I saw this stamp set being demonstrated, I really wanted to get it. So I have all three of those that I mentioned. Let me show you the die cuts. The die cuts fit perfectly for the stamps. Okay, the die cut has another one, halftone heart kits, which die cuts the words here in the die set. So you don't have to have them both, but I went ahead and got both because I have found if you see a stamp set that you like and you don't get the die cuts at the time that it's first issued, you may not be able to get it later, and I would not want to have missed out. So I went ahead and got both, but I'm not going to use that in this design. I'm also using a little bit of ribbon. Where did it go? Which has the colors of the design in it. And I got this ribbon for, I think it was 20 or 30 rolls for $2 at Goodwill. So that is a really good steal. So always be on the lookout for deals like that. Okay, let me, and I'll also be doing some embossing. So I need my Zig Opaque White embossing powder. And I will also need my embossing buddy. So let me move this out of the way and get right in with how to create this card. The first step, I'm going to make this background. So I have three of the three smallest hearts already on blocks, and I have the London Fog. I have a piece of scrap paper here and my stamping mat to give me a little bit of extra push, and I also want to protect it. So this is very simple. I'm just going to go through and randomly put the largest of these three hearts all over the paper. And I'm going to vary the direction that the stamp goes so that it adds a little bit more interest. And it's best to, when you're making a background like this, it's best to go off the edge of the paper and not all on the paper, because that makes it look a little bit more realistic. And it is also best to go upside down with this one, to start with the largest image first. That way you don't have to worry about have you left room for it. So now I'm going to go and fill in with the medium heart here and there. And this is the same technique that you would use to make any kind of background with small stamps and medium stamps. You can sometimes not have the right feel in the existing paper that you have. Then you can just create your own. And it's fun and quick, and you can sit back in front of the TV one day when you don't have anything to worry about your mind and just make backgrounds. You can start with a full-size sheet of paper. Actually, I started with this little one. So just go all over everywhere. I might have wanted to start off a little bit more of the larger ones, but I think this will be fine. Okay, now that's all done. I'm going to clean all these stamps later. I don't want to take time for it now. So I'm going to set that aside to completely dry and move on to the next step. Oh, I also need to do another stamping on this front panel before I move away from it. And that is to stamp the sentiment, because I also want to allow time for that to dry. Let's move this back in frame. So I've already put the stamp on the door, and I'm going to stamp this with the Versafine. And I want to be sure that I get a really good dark impression of it. And I'm going to give that a second go around. Yep, that's good and dark. Now I'm going to set this aside and let that dry completely, because that's a lot of ink on there. Clean this off. Okay, moving right along. I have my other MISTI tool and I have my hearts already on it, and I'm going to take the 2 panels of white that I have left, and I'm going to stamp the 2 hearts. The smallest one is going to be the red, and I'm going to do this separate, even though they're all going to go on the same piece of paper. Well, the 2 of them will. The 3rd one wouldn't. I wasn't being as careful with my paper savings as I usually am in this, because I just wanted to get it done, and it's all white paper. Okay, now you see this has a wonderful halftone look, a very nice gradient. And now I want to do the Lulu Lavender for the medium. Okay, let's move that down there. The magnet, I put it in a bad spot. So I have to really press to get that by. Let's just move it. Okay. And now the other one, and get the larger heart. And that one will be with the angel pink. Okay, move this, and I know it won't get in the way. It's a brand new stamp, so it's really sticky. There we go. What an ordeal. Ooh, missed it. That one should have been landscape. Okay, I want that to be just a little bit darker. Okay, good. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my little black strip, which I forgot to list that in the items, the paper items, but I just need a very small strip of black, and I'm going to trim that because this is more than I need. And I'm going to, I already have that stamp there, and I'm going to run over this with my thingy. I almost forgot. It's because I don't want any of the embossing powder to stick, because I'm going to be using white embossing powder, and that can be problematic. It's very easy to leave a few scattered pieces here and there, and it will really show up. And since that's so small, I can't hold it down with my magnet, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to ink this up very generously with my Versamark and press it lightly with the door, because this font will mess up and it just won't look right if you press too hard. And let me look and see how I did. Pretty good. You can't see it now because it's a tone on black, but once the white embossing powder goes on, you will be able to see it. So I didn't get this prepared ahead of time, I'm sorry. But here we go. I keep my embossing powders that I use a lot of in these little tubs rather than the little small containers that it comes in, because it's easier to use it this way. So there, now you can see it. You're always in my heart. So I'm going to look really close and make sure that I don't have any stray bits of white on there. And if you do, you just take a paintbrush, clean and dry, and just wipe it off. I could have got a smaller paintbrush than this, but it's fine. Just be careful not to knock the embossing powder around when you do that. So move that aside, and I'm going to bring in my heat gun and heat this up. And this just will take a minute. Be sure to let your heat gun heat up before you start, so that way you'll have less time of the heat on your paper. And there we have it. Okay, this needs just a moment to set up, so I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Now for the hearts, I'm going to take the die cuts and just drop them right in place. Let's see. This is the larger one. And this medium one, actually I'm going to cut both of them out, even though this heart is a little bit smaller than that. So this one, the larger heart, I'll just get the center part. So let me take this and run it to my big shot and be right back. Okay, now I have these cutouts. Now I have some finger daubers, and I'm going to take the same colors that I used to stamp these, and I'm going to go around the edges and add a little bit more color. And this just go all the way around. Very simple. Nothing too much to think about here. You can put as much on or as little as you want, but I would be careful not to put too much, because you don't want to take away the effect of the two-tone look by filling up the edges. This design was actually very easy to do, and it could be very easily mass-produced, but I'm going to just do just the one card. This is going to be from my mom. She is not so computer savvy, so she may never see this video unless my older sister takes pity on her and sits her in front of the computer and shows her how. But I don't think she's going to see it. And oh, let's see, that was pink, wasn't it? And I used the purple. Oh well, it's good. Okay, so let me just go ahead and do this, and I'll be right back in a second. Now the rest of the card is just going to be simply putting everything together. So I'm going to let the music run and assemble everything. All right, that's the finished card. This one I put it a little bit more up than this one. So this one I was able to just use a tape gun and just tape it right down. But this one's a little bit raised, so I needed to stick a little bit of foam tape under that. But I still like how both of them look. What do you think? I hope my mom likes this card. You can recreate this design yourself with any heart stamps that you had, any heart punches or die cuts. The layout is very easy to do, and you can use whatever colors you liked. Thanks for watching my video. Please give this video a like if you like it, and subscribe to my channel because I really am trying to bring entertaining content to my viewers. I'd like to thank my brother David for the music that he writes for this channel. He wrote a song special for this, and I really appreciate it, and I hope my mom likes it. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.